Okay, so for today's activity, you're going to need a jar. Any kind of jar will work. Some water, tape, paint brushes, and some paint. A towel and some kind of newspaper to put underneath. Next, you're going to take your jar and you're going to figure out some kind of design you'd like to put on it. Any jar will work as long as it is clean. It can be a recycled spaghetti sauce jar or anything like that. And then you're going to just start taking some masking tape and taping it onto your jar. You want to make sure that it's pressed on really tightly because we're going to be painting and peeling off the tape later. So now I'm going to be just creating a design with the tape on my glass jar. So I'm going to be doing a diamond around the kind of writing on my jar, but you can do anything you'd like. I say try to use a decent amount of tape because I think it makes your design look a little bit cooler at the end. And you want to kind of see how I'm lining up that tape right there. You don't really want them to overlap too much, and if they do overlap in a way that you aren't a huge fan of, you can always use scissors like I'm doing here, where you can cut off so it doesn't go over the edge. So once you are satisfied with the design you have, you can move on to painting. So I decided to stick with 3 colors here: blue, purple, and gold. The gold actually ended up not working too well. I think the consistency of the paint just didn't stick very well, so maybe stay away from those metallic colors because in my experience, you'll see later, it didn't work super well. But now I'm just painting in the gaps where there isn't tape. And you can see that I'm painting over the taped parts because I'm going to be peeling it off anyway. So you don't have to stay perfectly in the lines. It's actually better just to go right up against that edge. So I'm going to just go ahead and do this with other colors. So I decided to do this gold. The gold doesn't look bad. It's just when I peeled off the tape later, it didn't work perfectly. So I would just not recommend that. And then I decided to do purple. But the trick is, you can do any colors you'd like, but the trick is that you want to paint all of the open spaces that don't have the tape so that when you peel it away, it looks really cool. Okay, so then you want to make sure that you wait 20 minutes before adding your second layer, and then you want to go ahead and just add another layer because at least for my paints, they looked pretty thin and they needed another layer. Now it is so important that you let your paint sit overnight because you'll notice that this was not overnight. I tried to do it and you can see my gold paint kind of ripped off a little bit, and so did my purple. You're supposed to get a really clean, crisp line, but that did not work. So I waited the next day and waited to do everything else until the next morning, and you can see those lines are much more crisp and clean and easy. Now they're not perfect, but you will see here as I'm ripping off the gold, the paint just didn't stick to my jar very well, so I kind of ended up taking some of those skinnier strips off because it just didn't work. You'll see here, it just completely came off with my tape. But aside from that, I think it turned out really cool. You can see all the different paint squares, and you can see that it's clear where the tape was. So your next step is going to be taking some index cards or sticky notes or something like that. I decided to cut mine in half, and you're going to be creating little notes to go inside your gratitude jar. So I'm writing things I'm grateful for, like the sunshine. I also decided to write that I was grateful for the Stroud crowd because I'm very thankful for my class of kids. So I have that in there, and this is just designed so you can add things throughout your time at home, and that way you can look back when you're feeling down and realize there are a lot of things to be grateful for. So thanks so much for watching. Post your creations on the Padlet, and I'll see you soon. Bye.